Hi guys, so today I'm telling a story that doesn't take place in the same universe as Anchor Boy and Hothead, but maybe there will be a crossover. World War III by Z. Callie. Edited by Finn Boblets and Ben Piper. You are about to read the most epic story ever, the most epic battles and nations fighting for dominance and power. And it was epic. Chapter 1. Hi, I am Z. Callie. I am a soldier in the army, and I am only 11. Epic, right? Before I talk about my epic journey, let me run you through how we got here. Iraq was making nukes, so America bombed them before they could bomb us, and then, war. After that we allied with Great Britain, France, and Japan. Iraq allied with Russia, China, and Iran. Before any of us even fought, we all merged our armies and began recruiting. The recruitment was more like conscription. The first battle, the Battle of the Mississippi, was cool, I guess. I was not there yet, but I hear was bloody and brutal. One day I was at school and some soldiers walked in and recruited all the boys over 10, and none of us had a choice about whether we wanted to stay at home. Well, we did. It was we go in hot or we go in cold. Me and my friends Ben, Finn, and Rain were recruited and were walking side by side as we left the building during school hours. This is going to be terrible. Finn yelled. Lighten up, Finn, Ben said. However, poor Finn did not even survive the trip. For all we could tell, he died from exhaustion, and the recruiter person did not let us check on him. When we arrived at the camp, we all got buzz cuts and were each given a uniform and an M16 assault rifle. Well, we are going to die, Ben said as we sat at a campfire. Think on the bright side, we'll see Finn again, Rain laughed. No, me and Ben will. You're going downstairs, I laughed back. You're not wrong, Rain remarked. The next morning, our commander told a group of men, including myself, to go to a Russian soldier campsite he found the night before. There were butterflies in my stomach, but a few kids that were with me had firkin pigeons instead. You could tell because they were vomiting. One soldier looked at me and laughed. I will admit I looked ridiculous. I had a green helmet that was too big for me. I was wearing a green camo jacket and jeans, and I could barely carry my gun. What are you looking at? I growled, pointing my gun at him. He did not have a gun, so he shut up. Ben was with me, but Rain was back at camp with food poisoning. This is going to be awesome, I whispered to Ben. Yeah, Ben responded. Then we all stopped. We heard rustling. If these noises were enemy soldiers, we would be dead, and they were. A gunshot was heard from a Russian and one soldier fell to the ground. Holy dollar #. Percent, I gasped. I looked at Ben and he was shooting in the bushes. After a heck of a lot of shooting, we had 10 men left alive. Ben looked at me and we laughed nervously. Now just 10 men must go invade a Russian campsite. We really are dead now. We made it to the campsite without any deaths. We hid in some bushes and began to shoot. 5 men were not in the bushes and ran into the camp and shot from there. Big duh, those guys died. Me and Ben, still in the bushes, chuckled at the sight. Then a Russian soldier shot into the bush and hit the guy to my right, killing him and squirting blood all over me. Awesome, I yelled, laughing and cringing at the same time. I really should not have done that because then they shot into the bushes. There were 4 of us, and about 50 of them. This was going to be our doom. I climbed up on a pillar of stone and shot from there. Ben was behind the pillar shooting from there, and the other 2 men got in close to the Russians and engaged in CQC. Eventually there were 10 of them and 3 of us, but we won. The three of us men walked around raiding the camp, getting ammo, guns, and any information we can find. We came back to the camp with all our loot and told the commander everything that happened. Well, I think we can give you a higher position, the commander told us. Me and Ben's face lit up. Yes, Jeremy, you are now a lance corporal. The commander announced. Me and Ben's faces were now gloomy. He was talking about the other guy. That night me, Ben, and Rain were in our tent. No, I've been thinking about something, Ben said darkly. We were given M16s. Have you ever shot an M16, Rain? No. Do you know why? Nope. They're at least 5 years old. We use M4s now. And our sidearms are Luger P08s, used by the Germans in World War I. We use Mk23 pistols now. And the grenades we got are Mills bombs. They used these in World War I too. I am frankly surprised they still have any. United States troops now use M60 fragmentation grenades. I think we're cannon fodder. Nerd, I laughed. Why thank you, Ben said. A week later, we woke up to drums and trumpets, but not the ones our commanders used to wake us up in the morning. We ran out of the tent and saw Chinese soldiers coming in with guns and tanks. Everyone was scrambling and eventually I lost sight of Ben. I turned over to Rain and he could not see him either. Me and Rain each grabbed a gun and ran out to fight some soldiers. Rain was shooting and kept yelling, "I've never felt more alive." Meanwhile I was shooting from the top of the log cabin that the commander sleeps in. How the #%? Did they find us? I yelled over gunshots. A voice from behind me says a Russian soldier must have gotten away and followed us here, and then sent the Chinese a message. I turn around, and it was Jerome. I shot him and said, "Oops, I know it was a dreadful thing to do, but no one was there to see it, so that is fortunate." Then I jumped off the roof, ran into the cabin, and started shooting through the windows, and Rain was in there too. "Have you seen Ben yet?" I yell over gunshots. "No." He yells back. Then some Chinese soldier kicks the door down. Oh, I started and then shot him. Me and Rain jumped out the back window and ran into the woods to shoot from there. As I was running there, I caught sight of Ben appearing from one of the supply tents with a long hollow thing in his hands. I realized what it was seconds before he shot it. It was an RPG. He hit one of the tanks right below the longest of its turrets, and it exploded. "Impressive job, Ben." I yell. "Thanks, there are 2 more if you want them," Ben yells back. Me and Rain run into the tents grabbing sashes of ammo and RPGs for each of us. As another tank moves in, I shoot at it with my RPG, knocking me back into the mud. "Woohoo," I yell. Then 5 Chinese soldiers spot us and call in what feels like 50 others. Rain and Ben launch their RPGs at them, holding the Chinese back. I get up and launch mine too. Then Ben quickly turns around, pulls out a pistol, and shoots a Chinese soldier who was sneaking up from behind us. Eventually all the shooting stops, we win, but we could not move the base, and now we were into deep.